Welcome back to Maintenance Man on a Budget. Today we're going to switch out this lock, and the problem is when you go to turn it down, it doesn't move up. When you pull up, it opens. So used to work fine, but it eventually got stuck, and it just needs to get replaced because it doesn't work right anymore. I've never really liked this style because they tend to break down, because when you're grabbing it and pulling down, it's going to wear out faster inside the moving parts. Now, these are great and they're nice in, designer type handles, but this is a heavy used door. It's a garage door, so it opens and closes quite a bit. So I'm going to be replacing it today with a pretty standard, deadbolt and lock, because it has to be together. I'm not going to just replace the lock handle and have one key for that and then the old key for the deadbolt. But you can certainly do that. They sell these separately. I got this at, I believe it was Home Depot. So, yeah. But this video is intended to show you that this isn't as hard as it may seem. So if you have the money to replace these, if yours is broke, this one was around $20-something. But I'm going with a design that you just twist it. There's no down force to open or close. And you might want to consider that when you're purchasing a new one. If this is going to be like a closet door or decorative door that you're not going to open very much, then this wouldn't be a problem going with this design. It's just not meant for heavy used doors. So let's begin. Okay, so depending on what screw you have, this one's a Phillips head. So you just hold that down. I wouldn't recommend using power tools when you're doing these type of screws, maybe when you take it apart, but power tools have a tendency to go fat, screw fast, and you might remove threads, strip threads. So just if you use a hand. Okay, anyway, you loosen those, get the screws all the way out. And it just comes apart pretty easy. You pull that out. Same thing with the top. A couple things you're going to want to pay attention to when you're removing, and I'll show you here in just a minute. Okay, but we're going to go ahead and remove that. Okay. All right, there you have it. Okay, so I got it off. Remember to have the door open before you remove the door handle. So I did it when it was still closed, but all I did was got some pliers and, turned it in like that. It came out. So if that happens to you, just get some pliers and twist it open. But you definitely want to make sure the door's open. Anyway, next thing, what I was talking about is you want to pay attention and remember how this lock is sitting in. You want to have it facing the way you're going to close the door as such. You'll notice that it's designed to hit the door jamb and slide like that, and then it pops back open inside the hole. I've made the mistake in the past where I've inserted these things the wrong way, and a lot of people may do that. So for example, so that's one thing. Make sure you remember that it goes facing the way you're going to close the door, this piece here. And then also pay attention to how your existing lock is set up. Okay, so I'm going to go on the back side. I'm going to slide out that other hole there. And you're going to remember that all the holes are on the bottom. Okay? Just take mental notes of that, or take a picture with your phone. And we'll take the other one out too. All right. And kind of remember that on the new piece, how it's going to go. You're going to have two screw holders on the sides and then the one center piece. So it comes in like that on the new one. But anyway, we'll show you. So real quick, I'm going to go over the new one. You'll have your new lock assembly, the deadbolt, your new bolt lock assembly with striker plate, Right, this is for the deadbolt or the lock. And then this one down here is for the handlock. And these do extend, some of them. When you buy some of these, they will twist and extend out. So that's another thing to pay attention to, and I'll show you in a minute. So this is what you'll typically find in a new kit. Striker plate, right? This is an extender. You may or may not need it. Generally, of all the locks I've replaced, I don't ever need any of that stuff. Usually just the new lock, the new locking mechanism, and the lock itself. Just be mindful that you need to pay attention to your measurements. So I'm going to take these out now, and it's just a Phillips head screwdriver. And I'm going to compare this old one length to the new one and just make sure that it's going to work. Okay, so here's the old one. Here's the new one. And you put it in the exact same way with the holes in the bottom. It'll slide in. Nice and snug. And you can see that there's a bit of a gap there. So I'm going to go ahead and put the old one back in real quick and just kind of compare. Okay, I put the old one back. That's the old one. Still the same gap. You probably already saw that on the video, but anyway. So it looks like a pretty easy, direct replacement. I'm not going to have to do any modifications with this one. So I'm going to put that back in, and then you just simply... Okay, so that one's in. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the bottom one. I've already removed those screws. And we're going to... It goes right up to there, just for reference. Okay, so I'm going to pull this one out. And then remember how I was telling you earlier, you may make the mistake of inserting it this way. So hopefully when you do that, you'll catch yourself, because it won't be able to, as you can see, it won't be able to go. Sometimes in the past when I've replaced these, I got a little crazy and would, you turn it so it'll go and close, and it would, it worked fine, but I had it backwards. So just make sure that we put it in the same way, facing this way. Okay, and looks like we're going to be okay on that one. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the screws in on this one now. Same Phillips. All right, so I'm starting with the top deadbolt first, and this is the new one. But what I wanted to go over is that you'll notice that the shape of these is it's not a perfect square. It's like a little square, and then the top is like a triangle. And then, of course, that's the same shape as the centerpiece here. And then, so that's how you'll come from the outside on the lock part. Okay. And then you'll just make sure that the same shape pattern on this piece is the same to go over this. And then all you should have to do now is line up the screws. Okay, so these are the bolts for the top. The locks are usually the longer bolts, and I'll show you the directions here later. But so you just got to turn the plate, and then you just kind of give this a little bit of a turn. Now this can be tricky at times because now you're trying to line up. Once you get the first couple threads started, you can hold it in place for you, like that. And then you come in with the next one. And, okay. And then you just screw it in. So these all come with good directions. This video is just to help you guys kind of see it visually. I know I've had an issue with these in the past, but I've made mistakes and learned from them, so just sharing. So the longer bolts on top, make sure the length is the same of the actual lock device, the mechanism here. All right, and then you just thread it. You get it tightened up. Do a quick test. Okay, that one's good to go. Now we'll do the bottom. Bottom is basically the same process. Okay, so for the bottom, it'll be a little bit different shape, but you'll see that the shape on this matches up to the shape on this. You'll have a kind of a curved piece here with the round piece, and then you'll see that's the alignment. It's kind of curved here with the round piece. So you'll come in from behind. Now, what I'm doing is I'm going to push in on that so that this could slide through and line up with my holes, and then I'll let go. Okay. Okay. Then you'll come in and just line up the back part of this. You'll see it's kind of the same kind of design. So you're going to have to, looks like it's going to go like that. Yeah. And then you might have to turn it a little bit. And all I'm trying to do is get it to fit the shape. It's like playing with a puzzle piece, you know? Okay, so it's going like that. It should. Okay, I wanted to show real quick. Make sure you line up that hole, and that the shape of this, and you know, each lock will be different, but you're going to have the 3 holes. It should be center of your circle, and then the main piece. So when you push it through, you'll see that those are the receiving, this side and this side. Then I'll be able to now, and I'm going to have to use 2 hands for this, but now you'll be able to use and slide that. And so the shape of the inside receiver of your actual handle knob is going to line up with this shape. And like I said, it's like plugging, you know, playing with Lego, you know, fitting a puzzle piece. And once you get those in, then you have to line up the 2 side holes to match these 2 holes. And that is going to be a particular screw like this, where you'll have threads and then it'll have a little bit of a flat surface there, because it's going to recess inside of your handle. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Okay, so I've lined up the holes, and now I'm just screwing in the screws. So it takes 2 hands. You're going to have to use the one back hand. Let me try. Right, take your back hand to hold that piece, and then you take the front piece and slide it in and just line it up. And then when you circle this, you'll be able to see a light shine through. And if you're working in a dark space, maybe someone can shine a flashlight or a cell phone light, and you'll be able to see the 2 holes when they line up through your plate. Then you just use the screw and get a first couple started, and then you'll be in business. So it takes a little bit of a finesse, but it's really something you can do yourself. You don't have to pay for anybody or feel overwhelmed that it's too. I would say that this is probably the most trickiest part. The deadbolts are usually fairly simple. And of course, I got to get this one to line up. And so I'm just going off of pure feel here. Oh, nope. So anyway, you can see it takes a little finesse, right? There it is. Okay. Nope. Okay, so what I ended up doing is I backed out of this one a little bit. I unscrewed it, and I was able to get this lined in and get those first threads, because I wasn't getting much light at all, because there is a cover on the other side. So, you know, that flashlight thing probably won't work. But anyway, I got it in there, and now we're done. So we'll just screw it in. So you'll find that this is the most frustrating part of this, doing something like this. But a little frustration, or pay a couple $100 for someone to come in and do this, I'll deal with the frustration, right? Okay. Then do your test. Good to go. Good to go. Simple as that, guys. Ha! Simply said. So these do come with a good set of directions. One of the key things is pay attention to how you take these out when you're disassembling. Make sure the length of your deadbolt or your lock bolt is going to measure the hole, and they break it down to you like that. See how it's centered? That's where you want to be. Some of these that I've bought in the past will adjust. Now this one's not like that, but they'll actually twist. You'll twist them and it goes longer for a little bit of a extension. Where I've had the most problems is replacing door locks on like manufactured homes or RVs, you know, that are different setups. If you're going to be replacing something that's just a standard like door to a home, you should be okay with just replacing the parts like I showed on this video. But I just wanted to kind of show this product. Came with a really good set of directions. It kind of shows you step by step how to install them, what screws, if you want to replace the striker plates. And they do cover here on the distance from the door jamb to what you're going to be putting in. So it gets technical. This video is not technical. It's just to give you a visual of sorts to see that you can actually do it. You're going to have to yourself calculate if this actually will match here, right? All right, guys. Hope you like this video. If you do like these types of videos, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, and I'll keep them rolling. Thanks, guys.